What are frequency bands for Wi-Fi? We usually have two bands because these are mainly used in our home Wi-Fi routers, 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz band. We know that electromagnetic spectrum, it starts from gamma rays and it goes up to low frequency of 1 hertz. But usually we are concerned with radio waves. So radio waves, they start with 3 kilohertz and they go up to 300 gigahertz. And inside that range, we have our mobile phones, we have our microwaves, we have our radio waves, television signal, radio signal, dish antennas, and also a small band has been given to Wi-Fi as well, so that we can use with our mobile phone and our laptops. So it means if I am a company, I start making Wi-Fi routers today, I cannot just make on any frequency because I need to get permission for that. But there are few bands called ISM bands. Those bands we can use and we can make equipment without any local permission, right? So two bands are more famous in this whole range. There are many other bands, but two ISM bands, 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, right? 2.4 was the initially which was used, but then it had very small available bandwidth, very small available channel, we can say, or space in frequency. So we went with 5 gigahertz because that was becoming very congested. If I am using 2.4 gigahertz channel number 1 here, it is very common that my neighbor would always also be using 2.4 gigahertz on channel number 1 or channel 2, another channel 3, channel 4. So at homes it's fine, but in metro areas, in offices especially, it's not advisable. That's why we try to move to 5 gigahertz, which brings us so many advantages, but it also brings us so many disadvantages. So let's compare. First of all, 2.4 gigahertz, it gives us total 14 channel 1, 2, 3, 4. If you log into your Wi-Fi router, you would be able to see. Maybe I can make a practical lab as well, in which I will show how these channels are selected. It's very easy. Just go there, choose channel. First you choose your band. Is it 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz? Then you choose your channel 1, 2, 3 if you choose 2.4. So total 14 bands, but these 14 bands, they minimum need according to the standard 20 or 22 megahertz, right? So one channel is 20, another is 20, another is 20. So in this way, out of this whole range from of 2.4 up to 2.5, we can have only 3 channels, because last few channels are also not allowed. Channel 12, 13, 14 are also restricted in some areas. I made a video on this one specifically for the frequencies. I'll not go into much detail in here again, so you can watch that video. I'll give the link in description. But roughly 2.4 gigahertz, it gives us 3 non-overlapping channels, which are usually very common. We can use channel number 1, 6 and 11. We can also use in some countries 2, 7 and 12, and then according to that. So 5 gigahertz, it gives us total 45 channels, but out of that 22 are usable, some are reserved. So it's like a complex game. But the good thing about 5 gigahertz is all these channels are non-overlapping, so you don't have to worry about overlapping. But 2.4 gigahertz, since it works on lower frequency, so it gives us more range, more stability. 5 gigahertz, it's on higher frequency, it gives us higher data rate, but it's not so stable, not so good performance in many aspects. So 2.4 gigahertz, it can cover more area. 5 gigahertz, it can cover less area. And as you move away from your Wi-Fi device, it starts deteriorating. The signal drops very quickly as compared to 2.4. That's why the most common choice of vendors or the network solution architects is to choose 2.4. If there is no interference, we can use tools like spectrum analyzer to check that, okay, which signals are there already, which bands are available, and we can use those bands. Even new access points, new wireless LAN controllers like from Cisco, that 9100 models, they can automatically check the interference, the frequency availability, and they can switch between the channels. So 2.4 gigahertz, it supports 802.11b and G and AX, which means it supports Wi-Fi 6. Similarly, 5 gigahertz also supports AN, AC and AX, which means it supports Wi-Fi 5 and Wi-Fi 6 both. So these are 2 frequency channels. Then there are a lot of detail about that, which I have clarified in my other video about frequency channels. You guys can watch that. So that's all. If you have any question, you can write in comments and I'll be happy to answer or make a new video on that related to Wi-Fi. So thank you for watching.